remember saying to her, Janine, you know, I think like this is important because I think parents have forgotten how to play with their kids because we're so used to like being so wrapped up and busy with our lives that we don't take the time to get down on the floor at their level and actually go into their world.
DIR, the umbrella term of DIR, stands for the D is for developmental levels. There are 6 developmental levels that Dr. Stanley Greenspan has originated, designed with Dr. Sabrina Wieder, and layers that we take the child through some certain process. The I stands for individual differences, which means the individual profile for each client. And the R is relationship. Relationship is the pivotal point for everybody, for you, for me, for them. And that's the DIR. Now, oftentimes people kind of talk about DIR, they talk about floor time as if they're the same thing. Floor time is the actual work on the floor, the techniques that we use on the floor when we either working with the children ourselves or when we're coaching the parents to do the work with their children.
If you go into a session and you try to tell the child, okay, we're going to do this exercise, and this exercise, and you know they're all the way across the room looking out the window thinking about how they want to play with one of the swings in the room. You really have to meet them where they're at. And that, to me, is the main core of DIR. And then from there, when we're able to really build that relationship, then then we can move mountains together.
DIR is unique in the way that it's a methodology that is a therapy, but not. It is, we always joke at the office, like we use DIR with our clients, our families, with each other. DIR becomes a way of life. And I think that once the parents and once the families are over that initial process of the initial learning curve, they start to realize so many times that this is how I want to be. This is how I want people to relate to me. So if I'm wanting this, then my child should surely want the same thing, So it doesn't become you and the parent doing a therapy with a child. It becomes a natural circumstance of dealing with a child in a very specific, respective, validative way and truly harnessing the individual needs of each child, whether they're atypically developing or not.
And I think you always have heard that play is a child's work, and it's always like, yeah. But this brought it home to me that this is part of really a big part of a child's development. I don't think I ever really realized that before.
I enjoy working with the children so much, and I've learned so much from them about, how they play and what they pull into their play, and I just see, their potential and what they can do when they feel comfortable and they feel validated.
We have thoroughly enjoyed the play project with Janine. Alex looks forward to having her come, and that's what's great too about all the therapists. He just enjoys everybody, and that's been different from some of our other experiences.
Another variation of DIR is called the DIR Play Project that was designed by Dr. Rick Solomon in Michigan. Completely derived on the work of Dr. Stanley Greenspan, and they worked very closely together. And what he has designed is a format and a training process too for the program to be specifically designed with floor-time players at home. And the way the system works is that the therapist visits the home once a month for 3 hours, takes about 2 hours of DVD material, edits it down for me till about 12, 15, at the most 18 minutes. And then we spend some additional time at the office to go over the video footage and to actively comment. So literally the video would be playing, we'd be stopping it, our face and our voice would come up, and we would be commenting on what's happening. Very constructive feedback, very validative, very soft, but very effective as well. And what the families have all commented on is that even though the initial exposure to being videotaped is anxiety-provoking, it has become a place for them to really be objective about how they come across in relationship with their children.
Well, every time we got the DVD, it was like movie night. Like we were so excited to as soon as the kids went to bed, we would sit down and watch it together, and then we'd be like, by the end we're crying. Each time we're like, he's doing so good. They've made so much progress. Especially when you compare, the first loop to the second loop to the third loop, and you're watching the changes, as he's going through the floor time and watching how much he's expanding and bridging his ideas and the difference, from each video. It's remarkable, really remarkable.
I learned a lot, and the video feedback that Maude would give us each month was amazing for us, and very insightful on, what we could work on next.
The times that we were doing in Atlanta when we were just communicating and talking to the psychologist, and then we would walk away with something in writing. This way I was able to actually see it, because you can't always see when you're actually on the floor playing. So the fact that I could sit back and just watch myself and just take in and go, okay, I see what she's saying, I understand. It made, I feel, our journey into DIR floor time a lot richer. I felt my training became even better. My understanding of Noah and my daughter, because my daughter also, we also enrolled her into the play project as well. I just understood things that I had never really understood before at a greater level that I don't think I would have even gotten if we would have just talked face to face.
DIR is a process. DIR, like a lot of other things in a total approach, is process. It's probably what makes it the biggest fit to a total approach, is that we do not believe that we should be focusing on the end product. And it's so incredibly important, that families are in today's life where everything is about product, everything is about productivity. That's all you see on TV, that's all you see when people are talking about what's the score, what's this, what's that, who won, who lost. But in actual fact, if you give a child the process, if we understand that he has to initiate the task, he has to have an idea to do it in the first place, he has to sequence through it, he has to have a step 1, step 2, step 3, and then and to be able to organize and put it together in a timed fashion. And adding DIR to the process helps us to fully harness the child's potential and their interest, and take their interest and make it a part of what our agenda was going to be in the first place. But they come first, and we have to move around them.